Good morning. Today I'm going to be making homemade pumpkin puree with these pie pumpkins that we grew in our garden. It's really easy to make and it tastes so much better, and it's so much better for you than the stuff that you buy in the can at the store. So come along and I'll show you guys how to do it. Here's your recipe, so if you want to screenshot that, go ahead. First thing you're going to do is wash off your pumpkins, which I already did. You don't want any dirt or mud to get into your pumpkin puree. Next, all we're going to do is cut off the top, slice them in half, gut them, and then place them face side or cut side down on a baking sheet. Here we go, they're done. You can see the inside. So, once you're done with them, you're just gonna put them face down, like I've got them here. Go ahead and turn that oven on, bake it to 400. Now we're going to place this into the oven. It's 400 degrees, and we're gonna bake these for 30 to 45 minutes. The length of time that you cook them depends on the size of the pumpkins. It's been 30 minutes, definitely not done. You'll know when it's done because the skin will start to kind of get wrinkly and cooked looking, and it'll peel right off. Let's keep cooking it. Okay, it's been about 50 minutes. Let's check it. Definitely done. See how that peels right off? All right, let's pull it out. Now we're gonna let these cool down for a little bit before we handle them so that it's easy to work with. And I got my little helper in here with his clothes half on. Isaac, can you say hi? Good job. Now we are going to put it into the food processor and process it until it's nice and smooth. And here it is. So easy and absolutely delicious. I actually can just eat this plain, just like you do applesauce. And it is so good. It's just pureed pumpkin. You can eat it like this and just put some cinnamon on it, sometimes a little bit of sugar. And it's just a really nice, delicious fall treat. Most people do not like it like that though, but I do, I think it's good. Now, if you blend this though, just a pro tip, if it's too runny and it falls right off your spatula when you do that, then what you need to do is scoop this out, put it into a cheesecloth, and wring out some of that water. Because if it is too moist, then when you try to bake something with it, you'll mess up your baked goods. So just make sure that this is your consistency. Very thick, just like this. So if all you wanted to do was make pumpkin puree for some fresh pumpkin baking, such as pumpkin pie or pumpkin muffins or a pumpkin roll, you have done it, and you can now make whatever you want to and it'll be delicious. But if you want to can it and preserve it to make stuff out of later, I will show you guys how to do that now. Sterilize your jars in an oven at 250 for 10 minutes. Get out your pressure canner, put your lids in some water, and bring that to a boil so they're nice and sterilized. Now we are going to pack those jars and put them in our pressure canner. Now you'll see while I'm doing this that I'm taking the corner of a rag that I have dipped in vinegar and I'm wiping off the tops to all of the jars. And this is just to make sure that they are clean so that there's a good seal when we put our lids on. Got our 3 jars in there ready to go, and I got some left over tomorrow that I'll use to probably make some pumpkin pancakes in the morning. Now we're gonna pressure can the pints at 10 pounds pressure for 60 minutes, and quarts would be an hour and 15 minutes. Now, of course, I live at 1,000 feet and under elevation, so that's why it's only 10 pounds pressure, but if you're at a higher elevation, you have to use a higher pressure. Look at your guidelines online for that. Okay, we're at 10 pounds pressure, so now we're gonna cook this for 60 minutes. The 60 minutes is up. Now I got the burner off. So we're gonna wait for this to cool down on its own. Once the pressure gets down to 0, we will take the lid off and our jars are done. I'm gonna make a quick disclaimer because if you get on Google and look up how to puree pumpkin, you're gonna find a lot of sites that tell you actually cannot do it and that it's not safe. So I looked up the USDA's most recent canning guidelines, and it states that proper processing times for pureed pumpkin foods have not been determined for home use. That doesn't mean that you can't do it or that it's not safe to do it. That just means that they have not done the research to publish those instructions. This is the way that my family and a lot of families have been doing it for decades, and it does work. If you're uncomfortable with this because it's technically not USDA approved, you can always just make this and store it in the fridge for a couple of weeks and use it fresh in all your baked goods, or you can freeze it. It does freeze really well. So I just wanted to explain that because I know a lot of people might watch this and say, oh no, you can't puree pumpkin and can it. But technically you can. And if you understand how a pressure canner works, then you understand that if you get something to a certain temperature for a long enough time, that you are killing all of those spores that could possibly be in that can to cause botulism. So if you guys have any questions about that, I can try to explain it further, but by all means, always do your own research and can within your own comfort level. This turned out great, and as always, my family absolutely loves it. If you guys make this, let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, happy fall, happy canning, and happy Thanksgiving.